Very quick update. I am turning to this stuff to try and just spray it freaking everywhere because this house is so dry. This area is so dry. This house is so dry. It's so staticky. Like you shock yourself every single time you touch a light switch, or we shock each other whenever we're touching anything or each other or the cats. And so I'm turning to this static art stuff. If there's some better stuff out there, please let me know. If there's some stuff you've used that has taken the static out of your house, I want to know. Because this house even has like a whole house humidifier that is on, but people have said that don't necessarily do anything. I'm trying it, it's not taking the static out, so we're getting desperate. I'm going to show you, especially for these ones, if you touch every time, could you hear it? Every time, if you've been walking and you accidentally touch the screws, it will shock you. I have got to get that figured out. Apparently it's not a grounding issue, but it's like all of the ones like this are really bad, and even some of the other ones, it's just so dry here. Okay, first point, on a very temporary basis, that static spray seems to have worked really well. So if you're having the same problem as me, that does seem to help for a little bit, and then the static is built back up again. So it's not a perfect solution, but I'm gonna show you something else I've been doing. Okay. Pull the screen across. Okay, so the other day I was standing in the kitchen and I could just feel here. It was right here where you could feel it, right where the door closes, right up here. You can still feel some of it. I'm gonna show you what I've done, and I need to do more. But basically, can you see up in there? Oh, I don't know if you can kind of see it. There's a huge gap right in here. And so I have put weather stripping here. You can see it probably better here. I put this weather stripping here because there was none. So it's just coming through on this huge gap. And this seems to have like decreased the air coming in by like half. So it was just pouring in over this giant gap. I think there probably needs to be more somewhere, but this has decreased it by a lot, this weather stripping. So what I'm doing now, close that. But yeah, I don't know if I need to just like go further. Clearly the weather stripping is just too old. Like what was in there before is kind of cracky and doesn't fit anymore. And maybe it did at one point, but doesn't anymore. So what I need to do now is this dangerous? I'm showing you my front door. But this morning, you could see the light just pouring in around the cracks of the door, which means those are the areas that need help. I'm gonna figure this out because it doesn't seem like it's super obvious where the weather stripping needs to go, but you can see that there's a huge gap. The screen door is so bad and old. I may have to just invest in a new one because it's freezing cold when it's cold, and when the sun is shining on it, it gets like almost to burning because of the way we just face the sun directly. And here, and you can see that there's this old weather stripping here, and I'm wondering if I need to pull it out. Maybe. I definitely need to run a strip of that fuzzy one along here. Oh yeah. There's definitely, yeah, it's just not working anymore. It's just definitely getting through there. So I need to do something, but I think long term, replacing the screen door is gonna make an enormous difference in the overall heating and cooling of especially this room of the house. But I think for short term, I have got to figure out the weather stripping. Of course, now I'm over here looking at it. When it's open, it looks like there's plenty of weather stripping, and then I close it, and there's clearly not enough. And I'm not sure what the best way to do it would be. Like, do I put the weather stripping along? Usually you do it along the door jamb, but you're gonna run into these unless I remove this. Oh, I thought this was gonna be an easy thing to just talk you through because I kind of just did it with the other door and it did so much so fast. But with this one, I'm not sure what the best method is gonna be. So I'm gonna think about it. It's forgotten, I'll show you from here. I put up curtains in the front window and also in this window, which in this window we've already taken out the really, really disgusting blinds. So those are gone over here. I haven't done it in the front window yet because it's into the wood. Over here I can just like, I just spackled it and I'm gonna repaint the spots where it came out. Front window's all wood and I'm worried it's going to be damaged. So I'm not sure how best to fix that one. So I'm holding off on that. It's so windy today, which is one of the reasons I'm like, weather stripping needs to get done. But the curtains also, I already noticed it with this one. The room is warmer. And it also means that when the sun is coming out, I have blackout curtains in the front window where the sun comes directly in. In the summertime, I think that's gonna make a difference too. But it also just looks nicer to have the curtains up. It looks a little more finished. I think I might get one of those little skirt things for the top next, but I'm excited about it. It's starting to really come together. It's starting to look pretty good. Someone is having a good day. You will be delighted to know that on the absolute coldest morning of the year, my furnace went out. It's fixed now, but literally it was on Saturday. The high on Saturday was like 12 degrees Fahrenheit, which for those of you who use Celsius, that's below 0 Celsius. Okay, you don't even have to look it up. It's below. It was like 12 degrees is the high. In the morning. In the morning, baby woke up at 6:30, and I just immediately went, I was like, I want to sleep more. It's Saturday. Took him to my bed. You know, he was wearing his sleep sack. It wasn't like I just went and got him, brought him into my bed, and we cozied up and tried to go back to sleep. And he was kind of a little bit wiggling around, having a good time. He's in mommy's bed. And eventually he settled down. And as I was starting to drift back to sleep, I was like, why am I not hearing the furnace? And like, it's definitely like I have a heated mattress pad, so we were getting real cozy. But I was like, why am I not hearing it? And why is it feeling like it's getting colder and colder? And so finally at 8 o'clock a.m., I was like, you got to get up and find out what's going on. Like, you're not sleeping till 9 like you thought you were going to on a weekend. So I got up and I went and checked the thermometer, and it was definitely set to 68 degrees, and it was showing 60. And I was like, okay, that's bad. Got all bundled up, came down here to the basement. The furnace wasn't working. My parents actually are so close that my dad went out. We got some of these. Oh, it's so dark down here. We got a couple of these little space heaters. So we got one for down here because all the freaking pipes are down here. And that's the real. I'm gonna go upstairs because actually it's kind of cold down here. I'm gonna go upstairs. That's the real worry, is that the pipes will burst. Like, the furnace is one expensive problem, but the pipes bursting is a whole other really expensive problem. So we got one of those for down there, and one for the kitchen, and you know, opened cabinets, dripping water, doing the whole thing, because like I understand how to do these things. Luckily, this house, when I bought it, we got a 1-year warranty paid for by the previous owner. And that covered that. So I was able to call and have the guy come out and assess the problem. Fried circuit board. It's just old. It's just an old furnace. And so the circuit board had died, and he needed to get a part. Well, so the part came yesterday, which was Monday. It's Tuesday now. So we stayed at my parents' house, which is lucky we have that, like seriously lucky. And the cats have heated beds, and I was able to like make the house. I had luckily been checking cracks in it because it was getting cold the day before. I'd been checking cracks and things, and I had been doing stuff to kind of insulate the house better. But yeah, so Sunday the high was like, was it 16? I don't even think it was that. But the 2 coldest days of the year, my house was just shut up and cold. I came over just to make sure the cats were okay twice a day. For the most part, totally fine. I mean, I was letting the sun in, and the sun does warm up, like especially this front room, quite significantly. Obviously, like, oh, hi, Dougie. Obviously, they have heated beds. I had the heaters going in several rooms, and I would come and make sure they had plenty of food and running water. They have fountains, so I wasn't even worried about like the potential of their water freezing. The house at its coldest. Well, when I came on Monday, because I had to come here to work, like I work from home, but you have to work from home then. I came and waiting for the HVAC guy also. The house was at like 45 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so cold in the house. It's like, it's so much warmer than outside. And then as you're sitting there like trying to work on your computer, it's like, it's so freaking cold. So I was like wrapped up in my big fluffy robe and everything. But he did get it fixed. But oh man, it would happen. No matter what, I feel like everyone I've talked to, it has to be the coldest day of the year for your furnace to fail. Can't fail in the middle of the summer. No, no, no. Can't fail on a perfectly lovely day. Nope, nope. I mean, luckily he was able to get a part, but it's kind of like secretly I was sort of hoping he wouldn't be able to find the part and I'd have to get a brand new furnace since this was all covered. I just pay like a copay and then the rest is covered by this warranty, which is a 1-year warranty. So like, please, if the AC unit is going to fail too, let it do it this summer. But it was still just like waking up in the cold and oh, it's so stressful. So I have been so stressed. But the fun of a new house. Yay! Let me just show you a couple of the things that I like did or had done to help with the frigid air. I put one of these sweeps at the bottom of the door and there wasn't a ton of air coming in there. It was mostly, there was a metal plate down there here. If I open it, let's see if you can see anymore. There's like a metal plate down here. It's entirely metal. It feels like it was supposed to have rubber down there, but it really doesn't anymore. So I put this here mostly to keep the metal, to seal it just a little bit better and to keep the metal from kind of radiating the cold. I do have this, because look at this from the screen door. Oh my gosh. So I just have a rag there while I figure out something else. Also, I put some more of this weather. I just put it on top of the other one and it did seal up some of the big cracks that I had because that wasn't fun. Ha! Wait, let me lock this. It does make it a little hard to lock the deadbolt, but you know what? That's fine. One of the other ones that I did was the door over here to the garage. So this is the garage door. So it's not even laying like outside air, it's laying garage air in, which is kind of like outside air because the garage is not sealed. Down here, I finally, this thing kind of clued me in, but I could feel a ton of air coming from only right here, where like clearly the store, I mean, partly is just I need to get a beam refloated in the basement, but the door is not totally straight. So down there was a huge issue, and I can't put a sweep there because of that, and I couldn't get one to stick on the other side because of this stupid metal plate, and this one doesn't even have any rubber under it. So I finally went and got this thing, and it's only on halfway because there's no cold air coming from up here. I just got this rubber thing to put in here. Fixed the problem. Totally fixed. I'll show you what that stuff is, but there's no more air coming from the garage. I mean, how did... Let me show you this stuff. Show you. Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff. But it's this stuff. It actually comes as like a double thing. And I'm going to probably replace what I did on the back door with this as well. It's kind of nice. They at least said it was some of the best stuff. So yeah, but also like an older woman lived in this house. I feel like I mentioned this already. She lived in this house alone. And there's just so many points at which cold air just pours in here, which means that warm air probably pours in too. Like, how is she surviving this? Like, no wonder her kids wanted her to move out. They were like, this house isn't keeping you warm enough. But like, the insulation is pretty bad. And it's been a few things were just like easy fixes. A few things will be more complicated, but it's like, there's just so many cracks and things. But anyway, okay, another thing I did was just putting up, I know everything is a mess. I haven't cleaned up from breakfast, but putting up just a curtain. It's not the best curtain, but a curtain across this back door where air, I mean, this back door, it's cold to the touch. The whole thing is cold. Hopefully that sort of fixes, I mean, it did actually, it changed the temperature in here dramatically. So curtains for the win. Curtains definitely help keep the cold air out a little bit better, keep the heat in a little bit better. So big fan of that. But yeah, so those are the things that I had already done most of them. I actually ended up hanging the curtain in the cold house on Saturday once I realized what kind of a problem I was going to be having. Oh, to fix that crack up here, I just stuffed newspaper in here until I couldn't feel the cold air coming in anymore. I will do a permanent solution, but I literally just stuffed it with newspaper because you gotta do something at some point, right? You gotta do something to make sure that your house will stay warm. Now, the one thing I am super lucky about is that the windows are apparently double pane. They're older. They may even be the original ones, but they appear to be double pane. I'm not finding any cracks around windows. It's every outside door. The front door, the garage door, the sliding glass door. All of them have major leakage, but the windows all seem to be fine, which is fantastic, which makes it easier to keep the bedrooms warm too, which is really good. But anyway, yeah, little house update for you. I was hoping I could do like home renovations or something like that, but the furnace has thrown me off. I'm so tired. I actually slept really good last night. Sleeping in our own bed again was really nice, but yeah, the joys of an old new house. Bye.